Yo everybody, how's it going? It's your boy BurkCrown88. Today what we're going to be doing is talking about NHL 24, the players that could take that uptick, the players that in their base hut cards could move up based on their production or move down, because we can't just keep moving cards up without moving cards down, right? Like there's going to be only so many 87s, there's only going to be so many 86s. So if we bring somebody up to the 86s, somebody's got to come out. Make sense? So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the players that I think have had good enough years to come up, or the players that I feel like have slowly started to decline, and you might see their overalls come down, not because they're terrible or bad, but just to make room for the players that have deserved upgrades. I'm going to use NHL 22 and NHL 23 here to do this, to show you what the cards are like and how much do they really move in a year, because base cards, overalls, they don't really move in a year that much. So let's get into it, guys. I hope you do enjoy it. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that sub button and notification bell down below so you don't miss anything in the future, like the team building strategies, styles of how to play NHL 24 that I'm going to be dropping here soon in the next couple of days. But let's get into it, guys, and see 5-6 players that I think could be big movers in NHL 24. So we're going to start this off with Matthew Tkachuk. Matthew Tkachuk, I feel like, is a player that he's taken the league by storm in the last couple of years. Since he's been in the league, he's been a very intense player, an electric player, an enjoyable player to watch, but his play style and his production have really smashed together these last couple of years, putting him over 100 points back-to-back seasons. Last year was 104 in 82 games. He goes to Florida and he gets 109 in 79 games, which is huge, right? He goes from an 84 to an 85 in NHL 23. So is this the year that you see Matthew Tkachuk take that step forward and get into that 86 overall purple category, which I feel like he deserves? And yes, some players have to come out to make room for him, but I feel like Matthew Tkachuk should be taking that step forward as he did last year, going up from 84 to 85. Now it's his time to get to an 86 and be an even bigger impact player right out of the gate of NHL 24. And then Matthew Tkachuk, 85, like I said, that's good. He moved up, but we need him to a purple. He has 2 back-to-back 100-point seasons. He deserves to be up there in that echelon elite player. And I think he's got enough of a fan base and a pull, 6'2", that people won't hate it and people would love it. David Pasternak. This one is literally criminal. So David Pasternak has had brilliant years for Boston. Been an elite goal scorer, great player. 2022, he was 86 overall. And somehow, the year before 2022 came out, he went from 48 games to 48 points to 72 games, 77 points. So he goes up, but yet in 23 he comes down and he has an 84 overall card. Something that doesn't make sense. And I think we need David Pasternak coming back up into reality here, as this year the card was 113 points. Now I don't like pumping up Boston, but like how does this all work out? Like, we need some sort of an explanation on how the years David Pasternak has been having, he goes from an 86 to an 84. How does he not come back up in NHL 24? Yeah, like, this is what I'm talking about. 84 overall for Pasternak. I think he should be a little higher. Man, the guy had over 100 points. And when I say a card's got to come down, I'm not saying that a player like Sidney Crosby is bad. Sidney Crosby's still elite. He still got 90 points last year. He's still doing fantastic. He's still Sidney Crosby, right? And I know it's the name. You want to keep him up. People are chasing him. But Pasternak and Tkachuk are also big names now. They're youthful names, big names coming up, and you need to show them that. We've seen Sidney Crosby take a step back last year from 87 to 86. I'm not saying that he deserves to be bumped down or should be bumped down to an 85, because he still had a great year, but other players have been having better years, and they need their step forward, and cards need to come down. So we might have to see Sidney Crosby come down to an 85. That way Tkachuk or Pasternak could move up into an 86 slot, which is where he's holding it this year. And another one is Victor Hedman. Now, he's an 84 here, 86 last year, and I know he took a bump up, but I think he might have to come back down to an 84 and 85. He is still a good player. This is no disrespect to Victor Hedman. The reins are kind of being passed to Mikhail Sergachev, and I think he needs to come down, as he is not the impactful player that he was on the team a couple years before. The decline has happened, and I think it's time to pull him down. I know he's a hut hero card, and people love using him because he's big, and you want him to be good, but you can give him cards throughout the year if he performs like he used to perform. And maybe somebody that could be the biggest mover we see all year, Erik Carlson. What an amazing year the guy had. Could we see him jump all the way up to an 86, 87? Probably not. Definitely not, I would say. Maybe you see this Erik Carlson move up from an 82 to an 84. Squeak into an 85 is highly unlikely. I would see an overall of 1 move to 83 even more likely than anything, but I think Erik Carlson should get a bump up throughout. I think Erik Carlson should get a bump up in the base card. And before I go here, guys, Jason Robinson would be the biggest honorable mention. The guy has had phenomenal years, and I think he deserves an 84, 85 at least. 6'3", good size. He'd be a good player to have on your team at early on in the year, but like I think this player deserves a bump, and he's had the great years to back it up. So I think that's where we are, guys, for your big movers in NHL 23. From 22, 23 to 24, you can watch that trend, take that pattern. But yeah, I think Jason Robinson, even Jack Hughes, deserves a little bit of love. The kid's unreal. I thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate it. I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope you agree with the movers. Or who else do you think is a big mover? If there's someone you think should move up in overalls or has been up there too high for too long and needs to come down, put that in the comment section down below. But I appreciate it, guys. Till next time. Ciao, ciao.